What's good, everyone? Hope everyone's week is going alright. This week's video is on when boxers get saved by the bell. Pretty self-explanatory. Doesn't matter if the fighter wins or loses, I will still include. With that being said, let's start the video. A lot on the line here for both guys. This was Steve's last shot to be in the mix for a title shot, and for Amir Mansour, he was racing against time. Amir was a prospect with a record of 8-0 at the age of 28 years old before being sent to prison for 9 years. Immediately upon being released from prison, he would have 7 fights, becoming the IBF North American champion before being sentenced to an additional 1 year and 2 months for violating his parole because of illegal items found in his home, which belonged to his roommate. After serving 14 months, now at the age of 40, Amir needs to make moves fast, and he was given the opportunity as the US was in desperate need of contenders. Mansour within 2 fights picked up the IBF USBA title, an important regional title, and with the win against Kelvin Price, this will put him in a good position to become contender. There was a high mutual respect from both guys coming into the fight because of their stories.
All y'all out there, you know, he's having problems with his daughter. I saw his daughter yesterday at the weigh-in, and Godfrey, you know, he'll tell you, I had tears, man, coming down my eyes when I saw her. That's just the type of person I am. And then I ran up at her. I was like, man, I can't see his daughter. And we was getting ready to get on the elevator, and they was on there, and her mother was like, and we like, no, we're going up, because, that was a soft spot for me.
It didn't take long for it to break out into a brawl right at the beginning of round 2, with both guys landing cleanly. This would be back and forth till the 5th round. Amir would crack and hurt Cunningham to drop him at the 40-second marker. Cunningham would make the count.
Is explosive and have his heavy hands with the speed. Big left.
Big left, and Cunningham is down. Mansour has knocked Cunningham down.
Amir would immediately jump on him to finish the fight, flooring him once more, which looked like it would be the end of it, as Cunningham's head would lean back on the ropes. However, he would snap out of it and make the count just barely. Once the fight was resumed, the round ended.
Mansour is ready, trying to finish it. He's going right back at Cunningham. Cunningham trying to stay up. Cunningham is down in the corner. Final seconds cannot be saved by the bell. Round 5 is coming to an end. Will Cunningham be able to come back for the next round? Steve Smoger talking to him, and that is the end of the round.
Cunningham would get the break of a lifetime to where he was able to recover, stack up points, put in the dagger, dropping Amir in the 10th round to win on the scorecards. A lot on the line for Khan after his loss and his fight with Peterson being cancelled due to Peterson failing the drug test. Garcia had picked up the WBC title through Morales, and this fight was made. This would be for the vacant Ring Magazine title. The fight started off as your typical Khan fight.
Amir will have to beat him on air a week ago in Carson to get the knockout by
best interest. Universally recognized as a
high accuracy rate. Speed.
Garcia was catching him. It did no damage as Garcia was off just a bit. In the final 30 seconds of the third, Garcia would find his mark, flooring Khan.
Down goes Khan off a sensational counter left hook by Garcia. Sensational counter left hook. And Amir Khan may not get his senses back before the end of the round. You okay?
Khan is out on his feet with Danny trying to close big or get the TKO. Danny would land one last big hit, buckling Khan at the end of the bell.
Bayless wants to see if he's ready to fight. Bayless is going to let him stay in the fight.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Amir Khan was in huge trouble. Made it out of the round. But that changes the fight entirely.
Khan would fight a rather dumb fight, the falling round, just as Danny was about to pack it up and take the round off. Khan, who was still recovering, decided to lead a counter-offensive when he was already given the pass to fully recover for the next round. This led to Garcia dropping Khan once more and getting the TKO victory, thus ruining Khan's career in the process.
Third knockdown of the fight. Doing this round. 5, 6, 7, 8. You okay over there? Danny Garcia is going to stop the fight. Amir Khan has been knocked out. Danny Garcia has vindicated his father's misbehaviors.
Before we get back with the video, be sure to hit that like button to expand the reach for the rest of the good folks to see. If you enjoy the content, this is the best way of showing your support. The comment section topic is, what fight have you rewatched the most? Leave in the comments. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and let's get back to the video. By far the most entertaining fight on Rigondeaux's resume. Not long after his career-defining show against Donaire and performance against Abeko, which blacklisted Rigo from network TV in the States, he had a big opportunity to come to Japan and defend all of his titles on New Year's against the almost 6-foot Hisashi Amagasa. The pro of Rigo fighting in Japan, despite the future lineup being ranked, is there's not going to be an opportunity like this, especially at this time in the sport in Japan, where the opponent will be fighting for the unified title. So guys are going to be fighting like their lives depended on it, which is something Rigo needs. With his style, the only opponent that's going to complement him is a guy who is more than enough willing to take his best hits to land one of his own. This will end up as Rigo's greatest offensive show, putting up the best display of Cuban boxing. Coming towards the end of the 7th round, Amagasa, not giving up no matter what, would finally find his opening and floor Rigo. Rigo, genuinely shocked, he would quickly get up, which he didn't realize how hurt he actually was till Amagasa would go on full finish mode, trying to get him out of there to secure a second knockdown, this time actually doing damage. The crowd in absolute shock and nervous excitement. Amagasa, anxious for the fight to continue, he would go running in. Just before he can throw, the bell rung, saving Rigo. One of the greatest first rounds, Kirkland coming off his first loss of his career against Nobuhiro Ishida. Many were to blame that he lost his step due to departing from trainer Ann Wolf.
Joe Cortez is stopping the fight. James Kirkland has been knocked out. Shocking.
This fight here will be his first big fight back with Ann. Ann Wolf is most famously known for her medieval methods of conditioning training. Though I can't imagine how bad it is on the body in the long term, it does its job with Kirkland because due to a lack of defense, he needed the conditioning.
I call this the slave chain.
The slave chain?
I said, you're gonna be a slave today. So I take it, it weighs about 50 pounds. I make them hold their hands out like this, and I'll wrap it all around their hands. And I make them walk 4 miles with it.
Kirkland would get dropped early in the first round by Angulo.
Oh, hard right hand by Angulo, and down goes Kirkland. 30 seconds into the fight.
What a right hand.
Colossal. Smash.
Angulo going for the finish as Kirkland is out on his feet. Thanks to Kirkland's conditioning, he was able to keep himself up and recover in the final 40 seconds to where he was able to rally back that round.
He's down 30 seconds into this one. He lands an uppercut trying to come back. Angulo's going forward now.
Angulo's punches are shorter and straighter.
Look by Angulo. Kirkland trying to cover up now. Another sledgehammer right hand by Angulo.
That body shot was
trying to grab and hold.
That body shot was the best shot in the fight for Angulo.
Angulo won't let him hold.
Stays on his feet, takes the punishment.
Oh, good uppercut from Kirkland.
Yes.
Angulo is absolutely punched out to where Kirkland was able to floor him in the final 20 seconds.
This is where that Ann Wolf's training.
What an amazing comeback in this round.
Angulo's out.
Angulo is in trouble.
Angulo's hurt bad. Angulo's about to go. Angulo's about to go. This is it. He's done. He's out on his feet. He punched himself out. He's done. He's done. The ref better stop it in a hurry.
Both guys are standing up to incredible punishment. Let's see if Angulo beats the count. He's up at the count of...
Angulo would make the count quickly, however, he's completely out of breath. By the time the fight resumed, the bell would ring, saving Angulo.
Both men have landed some huge shots.
Angulo punched himself out very bad in that first round.
What an incredible round.
La única falla que yo encuentro es que Angulo ha pensado que él es el peleador más fuerte. No es nada más tirar golpes, sino defenderse bien.
The bell that saved Ali's early career. After Ali adopted the persona of American wrestlers.
He was not great a talker till he met Gorgeous George in Las Vegas.
I saw a wrestler once named Gorgeous George, and the place was jam-packed with people. Cars was lined up for miles. They hated Gorgeous George. They wanted him beat, but they paid $100 for a ringside seat.
And made it into his own for promoting his fights. He wrestled a lot of jimmies in the boxing world and with fight fans with what he was saying.
This is a good idea. Look, he's getting rich. So I start talking. I am the greatest. I cannot be beat. I'm too pretty to be a fighter.
What he's doing is he's taking the American culture, what's in the air at the time, and he invents something called Cassius Clay, the greatest. It's a self-creation. That's a very American thing.
The 18-0 Ali would travel to the UK to fight Henry Cooper. Ali would not take this fight seriously and sleep on Cooper, despite Cooper being a big puncher. At the end of the fourth round, Cooper would catch Ali with his signature, the left hook, flooring Ali to the canvas right at the bell. Ali would get up and be out on his feet, with his corner frantically trying to bring him back up to speed before the fifth round starts.
Oh man, he got nailed. He got nailed. Thank God the bell rang.
Luckily for Ali, Cooper cuts like paper, and due to the cuts, Ali would make it out and earned a fifth round stoppage over Cooper.
And I believe that if Henry didn't cut so easy, he would have had a chance to be a champion.
The highly anticipated rematch would not disappoint. Gatti would catch Ward coming in, which would send Ward straight into the ring post. The punch that caught Ward had busted his eardrum, causing him to have extreme balance issues.
Has been at the helm of Ward's boxing career pretty much. There's a great right hand by Gatti, and Mickey Ward goes down. You don't see that very often, and Ward's still wobbly as Earl Morton picks up the count.
Gatti would go in for the finish. He would realize something was up. Ward was actually fine.
Right hand shot. Let's see if Arturo can finish. Solid right hand there. Uppercut landed. Ward still punching back. He's got a ton of heart.
So far, all he can do is defend himself.
After all those connections Gatti had made, he made the wise decision to slow down in fear of punching himself out. This would leave Gatti open for Ward's signature that would slow Gatti down enough to make it out the round.
Don't even go there. What a right hand by Mickey Ward. Momentarily stops Gatti in his tracks. Now he lands the left hook to the liver. Gatti's frozen. What an unbelievable lift it'll be for Ward if he can survive what he took from Gatti in this round. They're doing it again in Atlantic City. Gatti Ward 2 already lives up to expectations.
This is the only fight on this list where both guys got saved by the bell. Eddie and Chepo Reynoso's first champion, Oscar Larios, was making his first defense of the WBC bantamweight title against Okinawan Shigeru Nakazato. This was a back and forth battle, Nakazato striking first, hurting Larios. Larios would find his mark in the 5th round, hurting Nakazato. If Larios did not make contact with Nakazato after landing, it would have been considered a knockdown. The ref counted it as a slip, with Nakazato clearly hurt, buying as much time as he can, burning a good 15 seconds in the process. That wouldn't matter, as Larios, moments after the fight resumed, would send Nakazato to the canvas. Nakazato risking getting KO'd by Larios by trading with him with no legs to make it out of the 5th round. Once Nakazato had fully recovered, he would have his best opportunity in round 8. Larios hit the wall, which amplified every connection made by Nakazato to where he finally caught him in the final 20 seconds of the round. Larios is out on his feet, stuck on the ropes. Nakazato is going for the finish. However, he suddenly puts a complete halt to his offense, as he thought he had heard the bell ring, and begins to walk to his corner. The commentators are in disbelief. The ref is doing his best to tell Nakazato the round is not over, which he doesn't realize till the bell rings. He made a huge mistake, which costed him the title. After Douglas had shocked many, he'll get a bit too comfortable and leave himself open, giving Tyson his only opportunity to get him out of there. Tyson put everything in this attack, which sent Douglas to the canvas.
Here he's against the ropes. I've never seen.
And there's a right hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas.
Douglas would just barely make the count, and once the fight was resumed, the bell rung, putting an end to Tyson's chances of winning the fight, as he was incredibly fatigued.
As suddenly as that.
Can he beat the count?
He got a little overconfident. Got a little loosey-goosey. Still wobbly. Let's see what Mike can do to finish. And the bell ends to save Buster Douglas at the end of round 8.
Make or break fight for both guys. Due to Berlanga's belligerence in the lead-up, this elevated Sheeraz's game on the big stage. In the 4th round, Edgar will leave himself open for a colossal combination by Sheeraz to floor him to the canvas.
He might be out.
Down goes Berlanga.
And he's hurt badder than he thinks. He's going to have to breathe and relax right now. He shouldn't even be jumping. I don't know if he's ready to go.
I'm actually surprised he made it up from that. Then even more surprised, he made it up after the second knockdown. He should have been done after that, however, he managed to make it up.
His defense, how the hold right now. He got a hold. He's out. All right, close. He's out. And he's still clapping his hands together. Just stay down. The boy hurt bad.
Referee David Fields.
Sheeraz burnt away a good 3 to 4 seconds, holding up the fight to be resumed due to not being in the opposite corner, which helped Berlanga make it out the round.
Can't let this go on. It's over. He's not ready, guys.
We'll find out.
Oh, saved by the bell.
By the bell.
Saved by the bell. Berlanga lives to fight another round.
Saved by the bell and saved by the ref. Andrade was on a historic run to become Mexico's first super middleweight champion if he were to win here. He was up against undefeated IBF champion Bute in his backyard of Montreal, Canada. Andrade coming into the 12th, he needed a KO to win. He would go all out and hurt Bute. Bute is exhausted and completely out on his feet, where Andrade would send him to the canvas with plenty of time to run and finish him if he were to get up, given how bad the condition Bute is in.
Now watch in the final seconds. Bute is out of gas. Andrade felt he had him. But Max, here's where the controversy is going to come in. One of the longest counts you'll ever see.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. Andrade knocks Bute out here twice and loses a decision. You see what we mean momentarily? Here's the right hand. Now he's down.
No way I could sugarcoat this. The ref, obviously seeing there was more than enough time, does the most blatant display of favoritism by dragging the count for a very long time, to where by the time the fight resumed, the bell would ring, which crazy enough, Bute was still out on his feet.
The referee is Marlon Wright, and we run our clock, and Max just takes forever.
Well, the hometown ref sees here that Bute's not going to beat the count. He's on his feet. He's out on his feet. So he needs to buy time. So he turns around in one of the most contemptible exhibits of hometown refereeing I've ever seen. Maybe the worst I've ever seen. He turns around and tells Andrade to get back in the corner, even though he's already back in the corner at a certain point. Count 6 twice.
I can't imagine the roller coaster of emotions for the guy who bet that this fight would end in a knockout, specifically a 10th round knockout, and the guy who bet that it would go the distance. You remember the lines on HBO that Harold would always say before the fight? Yep, that one. The one thing Harold had been saying for over 20 years that never happens, in fact, happened. Moore, who was on a crazy knockout streak, 26 wins, 26 by knockout, was dominating the fight, trying to get the knockout to keep his streak alive. He would finally crack White and lay him out. However, the saved by the bell rule in the 10th or the final round was in effect, which would make White one of the very few fighters to actually be saved by the bell. Though it didn't even matter since it's not counted as a knockout, White still couldn't even make it up after 10 seconds. This would be ruled a 10-round unanimous decision win for Moore.
Quicker fighter. Saved by the bell. Now wait a minute. Harold. It's over. You can be saved by the bell in the last round. The fight is over. Absolutely right. Saved by the bell. No knockout.
What a great fight.
You like it, huh?
Dramatic.
And on top of that, this is when boxers are saved by the bell. For more installments, be sure to like, share. If you're new, subscribe to Patreon for Patreon-backed projects and early access. I'm Wolfus Honcho, and I'm out.